Hello and welcome back. Now it's been a while since I've done anything about Dauntless, and it's been a while since I've even played it, so you'll have to forgive the footage that I've gone with because I am rusty as shit. Right, obviously we have the... I don't even know what this is. Is it the Evolving Wilds update, or is it just patch 0.3.7 for closed beta? Now, if you're on the Facebook group or even keeping tabs on their actual website, they are talking a lot about open beta. Open beta. We're doing this for open beta. We're doing that for open beta. But yet, we're still not getting actual rough time, whether it be mid this year. It's clearly not going to be early this year. Early would have been now. We're nearly a quarter of the way into, well, yeah, we're about a quarter of the way into the year and we still haven't got it. So it's not going to be early. So we're thinking mid, or are we thinking late this year? Perhaps even next year. We're not really getting a time frame. But anyway, we have the Evolving Wilds update. And with this comes a few nice changes. One of which is the new axe combos, which are a good thing, I suppose. One thing I did notice when actually playing is a few of the stylings of the warpike has changed, and it threw me off completely. I just felt like it was a brand new weapon altogether, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. So I kind of feel that's how I might feel with the axe, because you've got new combos and new combo variants. There's also this thing called Resolve, of where you can even though you will be hit and you will take the damage, but you won't stagger. And that is also something I feel should be put onto hammers, because the idea I'm going with here is they're big, they're heavy, they do a lot of damage. Hammers, they're big, they're heavy, they do a lot of damage. That's just my personal thoughts. Warpikes have their skins for their individual behemoths as well, which are actually, some of them look, oh yeah, really nice, as well as there have been some changes to the animations. Not just the attack animations per se, but as you are doing different attacks or their special attacks, you will notice that the warpikes will change and their appearances and open up, or whatever you want to call it. However, I have noticed that in particularly fighting this Shrike, that one, you are still able to get stuck in random bloody terrain. Was not happy. Anyway, just to show a few of the quick skins. I'm just going to go through all of the ones that I have unlocked, so you can see on the right what ones are what. Some of them are looking absolutely stunning. Really want that Shroud one. That would be lovely. Hellion one looks pretty cool as well. Quillshot looks like something a Norwegian would use when sailing. Really loving the Charog looking one, as well as the Skarn one, which I think looks absolutely amazing. Would love to see some higher tier variants of some of these weapons, because I really want that Skarn one, but it's not good for the level I am at, which is a shame really, but I'm hoping these are something that come as the game progresses. One of the most annoying things that I've come across with the Warpike at the moment is I used to be pretty good at doing the old booping. I used to like booping, I've got quite pretty fond of it. But lately, I don't know what it is, whether I'm just out of practice or whether something has changed, but when it came to trying to boop the monster, particularly like this, I fired a shot but nothing happens. He didn't get hit, it's almost like the shot just didn't actually happen. I got the animation, I got the sound, but all that ended up happening is I ended up missing a little bit of my health. Wasn't too pleased with that. So yeah, that's one of the reasons I've actually cut the sound off, otherwise you're just going to hear me screaming in the background going, what the fuck? Moving on with the actual patch notes though, The horizontal hammer attack can now hit multiple times. The Slayer is able to get close enough to the Behemoth, which is actually pretty handy, particularly for the bug, namely Karabak, also Rezikiri as well, but Karabak mainly because that thing being invisible is a nightmare, and if you could jump on its back and give it a few friggin' slams with your hammer, you're having a good day. On top of that, there have been a few fixes for the hammer with around the reload and the blasts not being consistent, as well as some of the visual and audio effects of the lanterns. Now this is where it gets a bit interesting, because the Pigeon Bear things, the Shrike, the Scrave and Moonreaver have basically had a rework, and the list of this is pretty extensive, but the one that really sort of bothered me is that slam thing it does. It no longer does as much damage, and it will not cause additional effects such as bleed, but they've increased the area. Now it can't be just me, but the problem I have with it, or had with it, was the area was too fucking big in the first place, but now it's got a bigger frigging area of effect. There's been a few other changes, but nothing really too drastic. Like, they've increased the visibility of the wounds, the rate in which they are attacked, and attack as in they now have random pause moments where they just sort of stop and stare, maybe have a little wander around. They're less ferocious in their AI, I suppose is a better way to put it. They're no longer constantly on top of you, where you're having to near enough take a hit to do a hit. So there's a little bit more of a balance involved. In truth, this update was actually quite large. There have been a lot of quality of life updates, a lot of updates into the Ramsgate hub area as well as the Shattered Isles to increase performance. There have been additional server adage so that we hopefully won't be lagging as much when playing, as well as just random bits and bobs like bug fixes. One that I actually found quite interesting is they've fixed a bug that caused players to end up sort of hovering in midair. For the people that have played this from the beginning, you will know this as goat surfing, because there is a goat that you could surf on and you'd be stuck in that constant jump animation on top of this goat. This hasn't been fixed per se by fixing the issue of you being able to surf on this goat in a permanent jump animation. They've just stopped you from being able to jump while in Ramsgate. Interesting way to go about it. Personally, I think once you've actually got to the end of the content in the game that is currently there, the best thing in this game is goat surfing. A lot like Warframe, once you've done everything, all you've got left to do is Fashion Frame. Dauntless, goat surf. It's the way we do it. We goat surf. Anyway, I will be following up this video at some point within the next few days with a bit of a look at some of the axe combinations. I didn't want to do too much in one go, as well as a bit more of an updated review of this update with some of the bug fixes, some of the Scrave, Shrike and Moonreaver changes, as I get a little bit more into it and a bit less rusty, because I am still really rusty. I'm also wanting to venture into some of the Warpikes. Warpikes are a great weapon, I do enjoy them, but my problem with them now is I kind of wish I got some of that Arcanite or whatever it's some of the resources refunded, because I've still got the balanced and improved, which they're not needed. They might as well refund the resources so that we can make the actual ones with the appropriate elements that we want. Having the original sort of tester Warpike still in the game is a little bit silly. Anyway, yep, that's me. Thank you very much, and I will see you pretty darn soon. Terra! I hate that ground slam. Really hate it.